Hello, 5th grade teachers. With Rally Day right around the corner, this presentation is designed to provide information to help you support your 5th grade students and families with core course placement and elective course selection. The first part of the presentation is about core courses and placement criteria. We will review a data file in Elluminate, sample parent letter, process for updating placement recommendations, and situations in which math placement assessment is needed. The second part of the presentation will address the completion of elective course interest sheets. Resources to support your understanding of the process have been uploaded to the 5th grade teacher resource page. Log into SchoolWires and navigate to the Curriculum and Assessment department, then Resources for Teachers, then 5th grade. Near the top of the page is a section for 5th to 6th grade transition resources. First, we will talk about core course placement. During this section, we will reference the data file, placement criteria, sample letter, and form for updating placements. In previous years, the Kyrene School District has utilized English Language Arts and Mathematics placement tests as a point of data to inform middle school core course selection. In 2017, we reviewed relevant data on student performance and other available data from the past 2 years to inform the need to continue the practice of placement tests. Generally, existing data is equally predictive of success in advanced courses, and placement tests are not needed, with the exception of placement into higher level mathematics courses. This methodology also decreases the total number of assessments that students take during 5th grade. The criteria outlined in this section is modeled upon statistical analysis of student profiles. While no criteria is all-inclusive, students with the enumerated characteristics are likely to demonstrate success in advanced courses. A data file has been compiled in Elluminate for your review and use. When you log into Elluminate, the report will populate with your 5th grade students. The report includes demographic information like a student's name, ID, school, teacher, and next school. The file also includes available data from AZ Merit from 3rd and 4th grade, available grades from Quarter 1 and Quarter 2 for 5th grade, a flag for students with exceptional education and gifted identification, as well as gifted subtest scores, columns for English Language Arts, Math, Science, and Social Studies, showing the options outlined in the placement criteria document relative to the student data and course placement guidance for each course subject. We will go through an example on the next slides. Mathematics is the most complicated criteria, so we will use that for our detailed example. The graphic shows the most typical course sequences for middle school. Several course sequences result in students taking 1 or 2 high school math courses in middle school. Students may take their grade level sequence of Math 6, 7, and 8, resulting in taking Algebra 1, 2 in high school, as shown on the first line. Students may start in Math 6, but take a compacted math sequence for Math 6, 7, and 8 during their 6th and 7th grade year. This results in the student taking Algebra 1, 2 in their 8th grade year. Finally, some students might even start in a higher course, like Compact Math 7B8. This would result in the student taking Algebra 1, 2 as a 7th grader and Honors Geometry as an 8th grader. Course pathways are mostly determined by placement. However, some students may also participate in summer math programs to accelerate their mathematics learning. The placement criteria document is available on the 5th grade teacher resource page. The document provides background information and a section for the criteria for each core subject area. In mathematics, there are 5 options to identify students for advanced math course placements. The table is read row by row. Option 1, shown in row 1, indicates that the student is highly proficient both years in AZ Merit Math and has either A's or B's in Quarter 1 and 2 in 5th grade. In this case, the recommended course would be Compact Math 6, 7A. Option 2, shown in row 2, indicates that the student is proficient or highly proficient in both years of AZ Merit Math and have A's in Quarter 1 and Quarter 2 in 5th grade. In this case, the recommended course would be Compact Math 6, 7A. For students who meet the criteria in Option 3, 4, or 5, we know that they should be in an advanced math course, but we do not know which course. Students who have highly proficient on AZ Merit Math and A's in both quarters 1 and quarter 2 in 5th grade, or who are identified as gifted with at least 85% in the quantitative category, are recommended to take the placement assessment to determine the appropriate course placement, either Compact Math 6-7A or Compact Math 7B8. The next pages show examples of the applications of the criteria to determine course placement recommendations. In example 1, you can see that the student is proficient in AZ Merit Math and has B's and C's in 5th grade math. The student is not identified as gifted. The student would not meet the criteria outlined in any of the options on the placement document, so the placement guidance would be Math 6. In example 2, you can see that the student is proficient in AZ Merit Math and has A's in 5th grade math. In this case, the student would meet the criteria outlined in option 2, and the recommended course placement would be Compact Math 6-7A. In example 3, you can see that the student is highly proficient in AZ Merit Math and has A's in 5th grade math. They are a student who is qualified for gifted services and has higher than an 85% in the quantitative subtest. All students who are highly proficient, AA, or gifted qualified with higher than 85% in quantitative are recommended to take the math placement test. The math placement test, if applicable, will be given in March prior to the state assessment window. Specific testing dates will be determined by sites, and we will use the same placement assessment we have used in prior years. There is a sample letter for your preview on the 5th grade Teacher Resources page. Student information will be populated into the letter using eMERGE, and letters for each student will be printed and sent to sites for distribution. Please do not distribute the form if it is not applicable for a student, meaning that their placement in middle school programs or courses is largely determined by their IEP. If in doubt, check with your principal or assistant principal. In the letter, parents are requested to check with you, their 5th grade teacher, if they have questions or would like to request an alternate placement for their student. We have created a Google form on which you can indicate changes in course placement, either from a standard course to an advanced course, or from an advanced course to a standard course. The link to the Google form is available from the 5th grade Teacher Resource page. In order to ensure smooth transition and understanding of course placement, please confirm with parents prior to submitting the updated form. Parent-teacher conferences are the perfect time for this conversation. To submit the form, you will complete the demographic information. These are required fields in the form. Then you will complete only the subjects for which you are making an update. For example, if you are updating the ELA course placement to Advanced ELA, you would fill out only that section, indicating the original ELA course as ELA 6, the updated ELA course as Advanced ELA 6. Then in the extended response, you would provide the supporting information for the ELA course change. If you were updating the course for Math and ELA, you would complete the 6 questions in those 2 sections and leave the Science and Social Studies questions blank. The elective course interest sheets are another part of 5th to 6th grade transition. Elective sheets are specific to the course offerings at each middle school. Elective sheets will be printed and sent to schools based upon feeder patterns. If one of your students needs a form for a different school, your principal or assistant principal can print one for you. Labels will also be printed and sent to schools to support readability of demographic information. Please affix the label as shown over the first 3 lines of the form to leave the signature lines open for parent and student use. Please support students with directions for how to complete their elective course interest forms. The ranking of the options is from 1 to 8, with each number only being used once. In the example, the student's first choice is band, indicated by a 1. This is a year-long course. The student would also like to take PE for a year, so they have indicated both semesters with consecutive numbers 2 and 3. These options would complete their 2 elective selections. The other rankings, from 4 to 8, are their alternates. in case they are not able to take their first choices. In this example, the alternates are chorus, Spanish exploration, theater, web design and coding, and art. When elective sheets are returned, please make sure the label is used or the information at the top of the page is legible, and ensure that students have correctly ranked their choices from 1 to 8. Please also make sure that you have collected an elective interest sheet from each of your students. Student schedules cannot be completed without this information. This slide outlines the next steps in the process and timelines for each. Between February 13th and 16th, please review your data file in Elluminate and prepare parent letters and elective interest forms for distribution to students. On February 20th, please send parent letters and elective interest forms home. During February 21st through 27th, provide support to parents with questions on core course placements or elective course selections. Submit any core course update forms as needed. On February 27th, elective interest forms are due. Please verify information on the elective interest form is filled in correctly and legibly. Also, verify that you have an elective interest form from each student. Turn in the paper copies of the elective interest forms to your principal or assistant principal. On March 7th, this will be the final day to submit forms for changes in course placements on the Google form, as this is the last day of the parent-teacher conference window. During the process, please check with your principal or assistant principal for guidance. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to this presentation and for supporting your students in a successful transition to middle school.